Hi everyone, I'm Rashmi and I basically belong to Rajasthan. I have near about 9.5 years of experience in the software field, wherein I have been working as a software tester for a couple of years and now I have switched my profile to Agile. Having the experience being a software tester, I would like to share my views on the today's topic of discussion, which is test strategy a mandate or we can directly move with the test cases? So, the answer of my question is yes, test strategy is an important document and no, we cannot move ahead directly with the test cases. To baseline my view, I would like to highlight and derive my opinion based on the logics that I believe in. So, let's talk about what is test strategy and how it is helpful. Test strategy is a document wherein we have a high level detailing of approaches and strategy which are then aligned with the processes. In a layman language, test strategy document is a basic guideline to achieve the test objectives. Now, how it is helpful to the QA team? For QA team, it is a guideline wherein that defines the testing approach and also describes how to achieve that objective. Moving to the second part of the question, what if we do not have a test strategy and directly move to the test cases? So let me give you an example. It is just like you are planning to travel somewhere but you don't know how. In software terms, if this happens, it can lead you to a good miracle if you are fortunate enough, but also it can lead to a trouble if your project is little complex and large. I highly recommend you to use the test strategy document moving forward every time. It is better than looking for a plan B when everything is messed up. Also, I would like to highlight one more thing that there are n number of templates out there for test strategy on the internet that people talk about and is also mentioned in the testing strategy standards or testing standards. But what I believe is that it should be more flexible and dynamic depending upon the project. So this is a very vast and wide topic which can have many open discussions and there are many pointers that we can discuss on this later on some other time. Thank you.
Hello everyone, myself Tejeshwari from Bangalore. I hope everyone is safe and doing great at this pandemic situation. First and foremost, I would like to thank Himani and Brijesh for giving me an opportunity to share my thoughts about testing strategy. The topic I would be discussing is about is testing strategy is mandate or can we start directly with the test cases? Well, before I speak about the topic in detail, I would like to quote an example. Everyone we are aware about performance review process, right? So can we achieve our performance without setting goals? No, right? So we'll set goals either for quarterly or for yearly. Then we'll plan how to achieve our goals. Then finally, so our performance is based on our achievement. In the similar fashion, I would say even testing strategy is a goal setting to meet our testing objective. In this agile world, see, according to me, in this agile world, we could see there is planning and strategy in each of the phases. We could see from the product roadmap stage itself. Like we have product roadmap, then in product backlog, and when we are doing the sprint planning, so there we could see we have planning, we have strategy. So why can't we have testing strategy before we are starting out with our testing activities? It is always a good practice if we plan something before starting with the activities and we are very much sure, so we are going, it helps us to deliver the good quality and which internally it makes our customers happy. That is main point for us, right? Well, so when we have, in what cases or in what situations we need to go for the testing strategy? I would say we should start from the right from the initial phase itself. See, the testing strategy, according to me, the testing strategy it initiate our thought process. See, once it we start with our thought process, it always helps us to discover the missing requirement. So that is one of the crucial and initial phase for us. Correct. And the second one would be like always it is good to have everyone in the team to have the same level of understanding. See what testing activities will be carried out and what approaches we are following to meet our testing objectives. So that include like everyone should have that knowledge, because sometimes what happens, when things go wrong, so people will come back and they will question us why this is missed out, why you have carried out testing like this. So instead of in the later stages, it's always good to have a strategy in the initial phase and educate the people about this information. Sometimes it is required to educate stakeholders as well. And as other circumstances, like, so when we are doing a joint testing, so either with the clients or with the different team members, I would prefer always have the testing strategy document in place before starting with the activities, because always sometimes we'll go with an assumption, yes, the specific team or the other team would be carrying these xyz feature testing. Then in the ending stage or when things goes wrong, so obviously people will come back and things, no, we were in an assumption, so the team will be executing these things, why it is not being carried out, why it is not being communicated. Even though sometimes we communicate things well in before, there are chances of misunderstanding the things. So always have a document in place before starting with the activities. This is also one of the phase I would prefer have a things ready before starting out with the testing activities. And one of the challenging phase for all the QAs is, so whatever the estimated time or the date, so we won't get the builds ready for our testing, right? So in that case as well, so what happens, so if you are not getting feature for testing on time or on the estimated time, so sometimes if always there will be some delays, right? But the people will expect us to complete a thorough testing or whatever we have planned in the initial phase. We need to complete the thorough testing with a given stipulated amount of time with a quality as well. So I would say in that cases it is a very challenging phase for all of us. So always have a different set of plans in the initial phase itself. If we are going to get the feature on the estimated time itself, we can complete a plan, we are going to execute plan A. Otherwise, if there is a delay, what is the delay period? Then according to that have a second plan and inform to the people on or before, yes, this is the plan B we are going to execute and this is a risk and mitigation if a delay is happening. So always it is good practice to discuss about the risk and mitigation in the initial phase itself before discussing at the last stage, because last moment surprises always will go for the bigger challenges. Then so like I can give lot many examples so for why we need to go for this testing strategy. Then so can we start with a test strategy or like without any preparation? I would say no, because it's always a good practice before starting or designing our test strategy. We have to do a survey on or some research about our clients or the end user, what exactly their needs and expecting from the application. I can just give an example over here. Suppose I wanted to test a mobile application. My customers are from the US region. So before starting out with the testing, so I want to do a research over here. So what is the most percentage set of devices used by the US region people, right? So based on the survey, then I will decide on what platform, on what iOS devices I need to do a testing. So suppose if I'm not done that survey and if I'm doing a testing on some XYZ device where hardly 1 or 2% of people are using this device, then and if I'm fail to or if I skip the most usage device testing, so then it is going to be the big challenging or we will be ending up with a big failure over there. So this is the reason. So before we are starting out with the or before we are defining the test strategy, we have to do a survey on our customer, what exactly they want from the application. And the second point is always our test strategy should be customized one. So I cannot go with a strategy from the XYZ company. That strategy has worked perfectly fine, but the same strategy need not to be, or it doesn't. I'm not sure whether it suits to my current situation, or the strategy what I have planned in my previous project may or may not suit for the current situation. Always I should make sure when I'm designing a test strategy, I should design in such a way it should suit for the current situation. And the third one is, as I already said, our test strategy should be customized, but it shouldn't be static, because we should always monitor our outputs from our strategy, and we should never hesitate to accommodate the desired things which needs to be give a valid with what I can say, the desired things which needs to be included in the testing strategy. So we should always welcome, and there should be a room for the changes to accommodate. Suppose if we want to, it is going to give them a better quality in our final result. Then, so how our testing document should be there? I know, like in this agile world, so we always tell, so we don't have the time to create the document, right? So, but I would say the documentation need not be a 10 page or 20 page document. Even though if it is a 1 or 2 page document, that should be fine. So it need not to be a standard format structured way. So we can go with our flexible and comfortable format. Either it could be the checklist, or it could go with some mind maps, or like especially with the test cases. Nowadays, instead of writing states and test cases, so we usually will go with the mind maps, or it could be any other format or any other tools. So whatever the format we are comfortable, it's better to go with that option. It's not like okay, we need to spend lot of time for creating a documentation, maintaining a documentation. So rather than that, have a simple documentation, and that document should be, always we should think about the end user, because whenever we are creating a test strategy document, we should think who is the present, like who is the reader of that document, because the same sometimes the strategy what we are presenting to the client doesn't always, the same document doesn't suit for the team members. So we should always have in a mind, so who is the end user to which we are presenting the document. Based on that document, based on that end user and the situation, we have to write the document. And in the document, it is no way it's hard coded, yes, it is no way it is said, so it is a standard rules to be followed, no. So it is a completely customized document, so what exactly required for my current situation. Like an example I can see, number of we could map the requirements and what type of testing we are going to perform, and something like what is the entry criteria for certain types of testing to be started, what is the exit criteria for to give the sign off for the certain types of testing, and build details on platforms on which environment we will be executing this, like this. It completely customized document. So finally I would like to conclude over here. Always have a plan before starting with any activity. Yes. So test strategy is very much important, and always we should plan well in advance, and because the raising a risk factor and mitigation at the later on the stages, it is going to be the very risky factor for us. So well in advance, have everything documented, share it across to the team, or to the share it across to the people who it is required, so that people will be aware about what exactly the QA is performing in the release cycle or in the planning, and well in advance the people will have the knowledge about it. Thank you.